most of the ones that you can get from the ones that you can get from China, they're generally a single phase that you have to convert. Similar to what you're
Yeah.
saying, right? So if you have to convert it, the issue with converting it is that you're gonna have to buy another piece and another piece, and then you have to call it like, yeah, I do none of that. In my case, this press right here, I could actually I can go to Walmart or wherever and grab a dryer plug. It's 3-wire plug, right?
Yeah,
So,
it's 3 wires.
but
Yeah.
I have a fourth one. If you're doing the dryer plug, it has 2 earth grounds, one white, one black. You can take the black one and run it straight to ground, and you can plug it straight into the dryer plug, and it runs fine. When we first started, that's what we done. We took,
All right. So with
uh,
theirs, then they're gonna need, yeah. So they're still gonna need that 50 amp breaker to even run
yes,
that to
I
even
I
run that.
I do
Yeah.
not suggest anyone run 40 amp. Well, I
Yeah,
suggest nobody
no,
run 40
no,
amp.
no,
You
40
need to
amps
be at
even because
least
they'll be
50 amp.
touching it because you need that extra power when startup because it's a heat press and so it gives off so much heat. It'll blow that. It'll still probably blow close to blowing a 40 amp.
Well, this is
50
the
is
issue that,
probably safer because that's
right.
what
This
I
is the
have.
issue that happens when you have a 40 amp, and under breaker. For me, all
Uh
right,
huh.
because I have a family member that's an electrician. This is the issue with
Hmm.
me. All right, so you know how you used to have them little brown extension cords, right? And you can
Yeah.
plug it up, and you
Yeah.
can plug 3 things in it, right? But
Yeah.
if you touch that cord, it's on fire. It's
Yeah.
hot,
Yeah.
right? But
Yeah.
it works, right?
Right.
But eventually, you're gonna burn through the copper. Is gonna burn through
Yeah.
the outside of it, right?
Right.
That's what happens when you have a 40 amp fuse. The 10 amps extra actually
Yeah.
makes the power coming into the actual meter box, not the meter box, the actual
Yeah.
fuse panel
Yeah.
itself. It can control it better. And
Right.
also, in the event that you have a surge on one end,
Hmm.
it's gonna be better for you in the long run. I
Right.
I I tell people all the time, yes, you can plug it into a 40 amp, but you need to hurry up and get
Yeah.
your electrician out there
Yep.
and have
Yep.
him to. And it's a very simple process.
And
It's
guess
generally
what? A
this,
lot of electricians would even suggest a 50 amp anyway, such for such big machines anyway. That's giving
right.
up
I would
such
say
high
50
power.
amp
Yeah.
minimum for me, right?
Yeah.
In my shop, I have 4 220s in my shop,
Uh
and
huh.
it's at my house. It's 4 220s in there, and I have them on 60 amp breakers
Right.
just because, right?
Right.
So 40. Yeah, go ahead and start cycling it. Yep, yep. So I use a 50 amp breaker as the bare minimum that I would do,
Yeah.
and people who actually have this the press, a
Hmm.
lot of them say, "Oh, I'm so scared." It's not. It's nothing to be scared of. It's just
Yeah.
like when people start talking about Photoshop. They say, "Oh God, I can't use it." It's not that
Yes.
complicated, right?
Yes.
So
Right.
initially, what you have to do is get someone to come in. They take out 4 panels in your fuse panel, pull
Yep.
it out. The easy way to qualify yourself if you have a fuse panel is if you have a blank in it.
Yep.
Um, I'm gonna unplug and walk in here and let you guys see while they're doing it, right? So y'all
Hmm.
can get a better understanding. Y'all may understand it, but
Well,
I want
yeah.
y'all to
Well,
see
yeah,
it.
because they just did mines. I have a 50 amp breaker in mines, and it's running in my home. So yeah. The only difference is that I don't have a transformer built into this one. So that's
So
why
you
I
had to
need
get a
to,
transformer?
yeah,
Oh my God,
yes.
The thing
that
is,
wasn't no
Damon,
fun.
get
But
this.
my
Get
thing
this.
is,
Two
I just
versions.
told them the price that I've gotten this for, because this is the second one. The first one was a regular
Hmm.
plug, 220 plug. They're not making it like that anymore. They're not doing it like that anymore. With this one, you have to convert it with the transformer. And
Which
so
And
the
it ended up
transformer that
costing
I
a
did,
lot more than what originally people thought because
yeah,
originally it already came with that setup. Now the
yeah,
way that they're selling them is you have to put all this extra work into them,
yeah,
including the time that they're sitting at the docks and can't get the containers and all this other stuff that's going on
yeah,
with the
yeah.
international shipping. So I'm trying to
Oh
express
my
to them
God,
like
don't
the
even talk
price that
about
you
the
see.
port fees. Oh
Yeah,
my
all of
God,
that stuff, the price that you see there, there's a value
horrible.
at the
I'm so glad
opposite.
mine came in the time that it did because a lot of people that I have been conversating with, Laquisha is one of them.
Yeah.
Um,
She
the
said
ones
she
that I
just
have
got
been
hers.
communicating, she getting hers today. She actually going to pick it up. She said,
Yeah.
put the
the people
extension
that I
cord
have
on
been
it so we can be
conversating
charged
with,
because it takes
the
20
port fees
minutes.
are outstanding now.
Yeah.
Like we're talking about $1,200 or more just
Right.
for
With
fees.
without without the electrical, she ended up paying somewhere around 35. just to get it to her home, and then she had to do additional electrical stuff to it because it didn't come, as they promised. It's not really true single phase. It's not really true. You can plug it in with a
Yeah.
220.
Cause see what they did when I told Shannon when I opened this, the breaker that's inside, they actually do their wire, trying to do their wiring backwards than ours. And so what they did, they jumped the wire to make the 220 conversion.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
when they do the jumping of the wires, they're
Yep.
cheating. They're trying to cheat you into believing that it's a real single phase, and it's not.
Yeah.
Right.
It's still a two phase. So it requires a converter, because
Yep.
without that, you're only truly, when you have a dual phase machine, is it's designed to be in a commercial space.
Yep.
Now,
Mhm.
in Shannon's case, I think she has a commercial space, right?
Right.
And because of her commercial space, she could run that
Yeah.
with no converter,
Yeah. Yeah.
because you have
She
two
should be
phase,
able to
and
do that. Yeah.
nearly all warehouses they have two phase. So
Yeah.
Right.
that wouldn't be an issue for someone with the commercial space. You just
Right.
have to check and see what phase of
It's
wiring you have.
the residential,
Right.
like
And
this
for
one. So that's
right.
why I had to go and buy a converter. And guess what? The converter for, the transformer is the isolation transformer for this
16
3222. 3222.
Wait, you mean it was
3,000.
$3,000?
Ma'am, hold on. I'm about
You
to
know
put this
what?
up.
I heard that you had to do that in order to do the three phase. So you might as well have gotten a three phase machine.
Look, I'm
That's
about to show you. If
crazy.
you don't believe
No,
me,
When
I'm
I
gonna
was
make
saying two
you.
phase, I meant three phase, y'all. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
no, I understood what you're saying.
I'm about to show you right now. If you don't believe me, how do I
Oh,
go
I
on
believe you,
it?
but woo,
So,
that's
How
not
do
what
I?
we
and
doing
Oh,
over
right
here.
here.
I can. The great thing about what I'm doing right now is,
You
oh
see
my
this?
God.
no. So
So you
I
have
would
like
definitely
So,
advise
6,000 in that
people
press.
against getting that one right now. No.
Yeah,
yep,
that's
220, 220. So 110. You got to get this 110 to 220 because it has the
Yeah.
the two live wires in the neutral.
which
That's
is the
the
third
what you
leg
need.
of the which is the third leg of the
Yeah,
power
for
that it
order
needs.
for you to get to this single phase. Yes.
Right. So basically what it's doing is taking all three legs and it's converting it down. So basically the converter itself is like a startup unit so that it can
Right.
control the other phases.
Right.
Now we
Which
got
is
that.
Yep.
not single phase. They should not be. They should not be advertising as a single phase at all.
Well, I can
That's very disheartening that they're doing that to folks, because most of the people that went there thinking that they were going to get a unit similar to what Chelsea originally. I'm sure Chelsea thought she was getting a unit similar because that's her second one. So she thought that one was going to be like the first one, which had all of that built in and didn't require all this extra stuff. So now what I'm explaining to folks is you have a few different things going on. You have the shipping. The shipping is a really big deal. People originally thought they were going to get their presses in 30 to 45, maybe 60 days. Now it's 90 days or more, right?
sure.
Then on top of that, the customer service. When they say that they have a warranty, are they really standing behind it? Is it somebody that you can call and talk to and talk? Hey, this is happening. What do I need to set up for my electrical? These people couldn't explain to me what to do with electrical for anything. Not even when I told them hey, I got 50 people that want to order. You think you can show us what you need to do for electrical to make this work? No response, no customer service there. Then on top of that, you're talking about how quickly you can actually get these in because they're stateside already. I'm looking at, okay, well, if I was willing to wait to save $500, I was willing to wait 90 days. And that 90 days that they're holding my money for that heat press, I could have been making whatever that heat press cost in 90 days easily
Sure.
with
Sure.
large format. So you got to consider the value. There's time value. There is the customer service value. There is, and also just looking at in general, is it somebody that I can reach out to and if anything were to happen, I know where they are. It's a different level of value that's coming with this particular situation. Which, and then we went on eBay and looked at some of the prices of those as well. Same, similar setup and everything. And the thing is, they're coming from California, which normally they're not even coming from California. They're coming from a port somewhere in California, which they don't know when those are coming off of the containers, and that could
That's
be another
exactly
four
what's
to
going
six
on.
weeks.
That's
Right,
exactly what's going
at least 4 to 6 weeks, right? Am I
on. Yep.
exaggerating? So
Nope.
even if I was to order this one for 2,600 right now that I'm looking at, it's a 31 by 39, pretty much the same look and everything. It's 2,600. I'm gonna have to wait 4 to 6 weeks for that one. Plus, pay it says free shipping, but I don't think that's how that works.
It is
Um,
because it's liftgate, and they're gonna charge you
mhm,
at least $90 for the liftgate service if you're residential, and then
right,
there's other fees that are associated with it, and then again, there's really no one you can call.
right. So when I show and you tell me, I'm gonna put it up on the screen. You tell me. Mm, mm, mm. I think. Hold on, I gotta share my screen here. If this is about the one, let's see where we are right there.
Wish I knew how to share my screen because yes, that's
All
very
you have to
similar to
do
what you
is
have.
you should have a share. You have a share screen button on yours. I think.
Okay.
And if it asks you to share the screen, I can let it happen on this end.
Okay.
But
So ours, the difference between ours is that the handle is upgraded, which
mm-hmm,
was an issue with some of them. The other
mm-hmm,
thing is that we use a different controller on ours. That is one of the bigger things about ours. All the controllers look alike, but the circuitry inside of ours is different. And the
okay,
reason that is different is because, okay, if you ever seen, some people may have seen my lives, others may have not, right? But on my live, my heat press, I've had it now. When I started this journey, it was about 2.5 years ago. Um, I started trying to get the import stuff done, right?
mm-hmm,
So what I did is I tested the product myself, and I found out that the handle wasn't worth a quarter, right?
right,
So we fixed that. And if you notice, and this I'm not taking credit, but this is exactly what happened. The handles on top of that press right there, the pressure adjustments, that is my
mm-hmm.
design. That happened about
Oh,
2.5. Well, that happened about a year and 3 quarters ago. If you go to Wayback Machine, you will notice that those presses previous to the time that I started working with the suppliers over there, they had a little black knob on them. But those black
mm-hmm,
knobs break. They break really,
right.
really easy. They're super, super cheap. So that design right there you see is my design. The knobs on there, the presses. If you
Ooh,
look back, you can use a Wayback Machine. If you really wanted to investigate, they only had 2 braces across them, and it was a thinner metal. Now it's a thicker metal with 3 braces across it, and that was
mm-hmm,
because the fact of the matter is that when we pull down on the presses, when we're doing basically like the sublimation, we have to have a high amount of pressure. So because the
right.
pressure is so high, people were saying that the handles were no good. Well, essentially, the way that the press is set up, you weren't supposed to be putting that much pressure on it. So since in the
Mm,
United States we beefed up the handle. Again,
right.
the three braces is my design. Now there are other improvements that I can't take credit for, which is the sliding drawer, and they kind of came up with that themselves. And one person copies another, copies another, copies another. So I
Right.
can't take credit for that because I didn't do that. However, the opening mechanism, I did have a part in that because the opening mechanism itself, the way that they had the curves cut at the top, when you start pushing down on the press, they had a tendency to flex. So now I had them to go in with the thicker metal and to curve it down a little bit more so that when you push down on it, it didn't bend or deflect.
Mm-hmm.
So the presses are very, very well made, and they've been copied like a gazillion times before I could get them to market. But that's my part in the design of the presses. I'm very proud of that. But that's how I'm able to source and get as many as I have is because I actually had a part in the design of the redesign of the press.
Gotcha. And is this the only style press that you have right now, or is
That
there a different?
I have 2 new styles of presses that are coming out. We have them already, but we are testing them, and we will not release them to the public until we have beat them until they break.
Gotcha. Okay. So, but this one right now is the style of the one that if anybody's able to order by Sunday, this is the one they'll be getting, right? But yours
Yes.
has the improved control unit inside that does not require a $3,000 transformer, right?
Right, right. And if I
um,
could, we're actually installing one right now. We had the electrician over, and this is a great time. The electrician was over, and it's at 400 yet. So we installed it, no converter. I got to figure out how to press this button here. So when y'all get to know me, y'all will know I'm Yeah, I struggle with this, but it's a button down here that said cam, so I'm finna click it. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, I think you can go to your camera settings. I think it says settings, and if you want to flip your camera around, Chelsea, I think she did that earlier. She went to her settings and flipped it around. If you want to flip it to where, excuse me, where it shows the opposite camera.
Well, I don't know how to do that, so I'm just gonna turn around. How about that? So hold on, I'm gonna walk back here real quick.
You sound like me. All my videos I do with the image facing me because I don't know no other way.
Yeah,
Okay, so
and
I'm
then
gonna
like the
turn off my
words be
screen
backwards and
share.
all kinds of stuff. So I'm gonna walk back here and let you
And
see.
okay,
So
gotcha. Let
we're
me let
we're
me turn
doing
off
the
my screen share.
okay. So we're going. This is an actual install that we're doing right now. So do you have to have a converter on this? So how did you wire that up? If you can help me out. This is the electrician. So when y'all wire this up, it's just straight 220, right? How much? How many amps you put on there? How many amps we put on the breaker?
Yeah, 50 amp.
50 amp breaker, right? Yep. Straight. There's a panel. Hope y'all can see it. All right. So this is where he's coming in with it. He's using 3 wires. 50 amp breaker right there.
2 wire.
I'm sorry, he's using 2 wires up there. See, I ain't no electrician. See that? See.
This is 120.
Right. So he's bringing in the electrical right now. That's the panel that I spoke about. You just take the front of the panel off. You got a 220 breaker. Well, a 220 breaker. I know this much is 2 legs, right? Mm-hmm. 2 legs of 120 together. I know that part. All right, but here it is right here. It's coming straight out of there, going straight into here. Here's a press, right?
You got the box.
I don't know if you see it, right? Here's a press, and then here's where it's coming into the wall into a small connector. I wish I knew how to turn this thing around. But anyway, this is it right here. Let's see. Straight into the wall, straight down and up into the fuse panel. So there's no converter here. All our information, all our stuff is right here. There you have it.
Oh.
Straight wire.
So that answers so many different questions right now. I'm going to the questions that were collected earlier. And even some folks have some questions right now on the YouTube chat. So let's see. Oh,
So-
Sugarfoot's trying to tell you to click the double arrow on your screen.
Double arrow on my screen.
I guess so you can flip the camera.
On the browser version.
Okay, maybe that's what it is. And maybe on the phone is different from the okay. Chelsea, I'm adding you back. Hold on, you there?
Yes.
Okay. So Chelsea, that answered a lot of your questions, right? About
well,
the
So look,
here's
here's
have the trans if here's have the
so
transformer
here you
built
go right
into
here
it,
so y'all
but
can
then,
see.
yeah.
hold on a second, Chelsea. It's heating
That's
up.
400. It's at 392 right now.
Yeah.
Got 2 on the counter right there. That's how many seconds we got to set at. 300 degrees. 392. I'm sorry. And here's the connection, right? Straight out, right?
Mm-hmm.
No converter. This is just a junction box. Hope y'all can see it. And then from that junction box, straight down and up into the fuse panel to a 50 amp.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So
is that preferred to creating the 220 outlet that you can plug into like a dryer?
you can you can do either one, but you definitely need to have a 50 amp breaker.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so I can show y'all this right here too. Here's the table. Slides out. Go back in. Right.
Ooh.
And here's what I was talking to you about the upgraded right here. Right. And
hold on a second. It's let me see if I can get your camera. Here it goes. Okay, I can see it now.
so I had questions about handles, right? So because we changed the angle, I want y'all to watch. It's one-handed with the pressure all the way up. See, one-handed.
Oh, that single hands. You can't even do single hand with some of these 16 by 20s.
Right. The reason that this is like that is because of this. Remember when we were talking earlier, this angle has changed. This angle right here has changed. Because that angle changed, what that does is it gives you more leverage, right? So if your angle of approach on the actual top of the pivot lever, I'm talking in all kinds of like jargon, but if you take, so let me explain it like this. So you take a triangle, right, and you put a ball on top of a triangle, right, and then you take a board and put across it, right. It's gonna be easy to pry that board up and down, right.
Right.
But if I take
Right.
that board and put the ball in the middle, and then I try to pry it down to the edge of the triangle, it's gonna require more leverage. So
Mm-hmm.
less leverage, no, more leverage. I'm sorry. So with it higher, when you push down on it, because of the angle that we put it at, you can just close it with one hand.
Right. Yeah, that's a great improvement. I will say that, like I said, I've had 16 by 20 presses that you had to use both hands in order to close it. And this is auto open, right?
No, no auto open. It's
Oh,
completely
this one
manual.
is auto open.
Now, no, mine is not auto open. It's completely manual. But
Okay.
because we changed the angle of hold on, because we changed the angle, you shouldn't have an issue opening it. You know, like I was just
Okay.
showing
So
you, you just
it
open it
should
with
be
one
minimal
hand.
effort then. So it's
Hold on just a
manual. It
second.
should be. Uh-huh.
Look at this. I'm trying to make sure I don't die on this thing because man, this phone's my lifeline. But yeah, it's it's
Oh,
it's totally manual, right? But because of the angle that the actual pivot is at, it's easier to open and close.
okay. Good deal. And that was somebody else's question or comment, was the manual causing fatigue, that sort of thing. Let's see.
Okay, so let me elaborate on the manual causes fatigue. All right. First thing is that if the manual causes fatigue for you, that's a good thing because that means you're pressing a whole bunch of shirts. That's the first thing. First thing. All right. So the second thing about fatigue in the manual is that a lot of times we require high pressure, right? But you have to get the pressure number right. Um, I
Mhm.
find that a lot of people take the pressure way too high because they don't understand the process. You know,
Right.
if they don't understand the process, when I have people that have issues with it, I explain the process first to them, right? And I say, hey, this is how sublimation works. This is the science of it. And once you really understand the science, because there's a lot of people that understand how to sublimate, but they don't understand the science behind sublimation
Right.
itself, right?
Mhm.
So if you understand the science behind it, you'll understand that high pressure is required, but extreme pressure is not, and
Right.
time can be adjusted. So, for
Mhm.
example, like when we're doing all over shirts, right? Everybody sticks paper in theirs. I don't do that because I know how to do the
Right.
pressure correctly, right? So it's more than one thing to it. But yes, the fatigue can set in if you have to like shove down on the press really hard. But since this press is easy to close, the fatigue will
Mhm.
probably kick in around 90 shirts.
Okay.
At
And
least
that
that's
and
what
that
it
that's
does for
something
us.
to think of too. And the other questions that I'm seeing is there a warranty? So that is a question that folks are asking about, and if you could explain anything on that, that would
So
help them as
so the warranty is 2 years on the press. You can call me and I directly get in contact with the people who handle the situations as far as the warranty is concerned. We cover parts, and we walk you through the troubleshooting piece, and you will probably walk through that troubleshooting piece with me. We do not cover heat power surges. That's why we recommend that you get a 50 amp breaker. Right, we
well.
recommend that it's grounded. There are certain things that happen with presses that are out there in the field, and it's 100% in most cases power related. When they're power related, generally it's a power surge because they don't have it grounded correctly, or they had somebody come in and do their electrical incorrectly. However, if it's
Right.
something with the controller, we'll replace it. If it's something with the heating element, we'll replace it. If you have a handle that breaks, we'll replace it. And you call me and I take care of that. I
Okay,
have
so
parts
some
in
of the issues that are covered, the controller, what else did you mention?
the
I'm just
heating
typing this
element,
up
the
right now.
controller, and that's the rest of it is metal. I mean, if you break some metal,
Right.
I mean, if
Then
you
you
have a bad
something
weld,
wrong. You ain't pressing no church.
if you break some metal and it's a issue that is around the actual manufacturing of it, of course we'll take care of it. We'll figure out what we can do to get you taken care of. However, if it's something that you do that's abuse or something like that, we can't cover
Mm-hmm.
abuse, but we will cover things that are defects in manufacturing. And if it's an
Mm-hmm.
electrical issue that is out of your control, we will definitely cover it. And if you need help with your adjustments and things like that, you know, we're there for that. But we do not troubleshoot your sublimation issues
Right.
because that's, you know, that's kind of out of our control.
Right. So I have it covers a controller, heating element, defects in manufacturing, does not cover abuse, power surges, make sure you have a 50 amp breaker, and as far as the setup and everything, we're not expecting you to troubleshoot all of our sublimation woes.
Right,
Okay.
we can't do that. Yeah. All right, and one other thing I may add, we just deliver. We do not install these, right? If you
Right.
want to install, there'll be a fee for that. The press is approximately 450 pounds, right? We
Oh
have some
yes.
people that
Gotcha.
want them
Oh my God,
upstairs.
yes.
Yeah, we have people that want them upstairs, people that want them here, there, and all that. Shipping does not include setting up. If you want it set up, I have a group of people that come and set them up. I will be working with Shannon to get that announced, but we do not install them unless you have paid for that service.
Got you. Now, what about the electrical part of it? Is this something that they need to have prearranged? Like, let's say they want to do setup with you, right? Is this something that they need to have an electrician come out and do whatever they're going to do to their situation before you arrive, or when you get there, or how does that need to be planned out?
Well, we like to have it set up before you get there. The one that we're doing right now, the electrical person was close by, so it wasn't really an issue. But when we got here, we noticed that they had like a little wire that big. You know what I'm saying? Running to a
Right.
220. Not the way
That
to
ain't
do
right.
it. Yeah, that's not the way to do it. Like in that case, I would step away from it and say, look, you can install this, but y'all can plug it up, but I have
Right.
no, no recourse to what's going to happen. But
Right.
luckily, this customer did the correct things. She can't call the electrician in, and they have a team of people here that are really doing a great job with the install part of the electrical. And because I'm here, we can talk through the process of what I'm doing, and
Right.
the actual customer understands it better. So that's nice. But as far as someone that's more than 3 or 4 hours away from our location, when we come out and do installs there, we like to have it already done and completed, so that we can just come in and plug it up and go.
Okay, so we're asking that the electrical is completed for the most part. That there be situations where if you already know somebody locally that has electrical, maybe you can even refer someone and put them in the position to do that and cover that in the fee, or charge that separate. So I'm putting that the electrical is separate and needs to be handled before the press arrives if they want it set up,
Right.
right?
Yes.
Now setup includes the assembly of it because I saw the base was kind of disassembled and you put that
Yes.
together.
Yes. The
Okay,
base
and
will be
how much
assembled.
time are we looking at for this process?
With two people, it's about an hour.
Okay, and prior to setup. So with the shipping, I did explain the shipping is about with the area we're talking about on our little map there is about 350. What we're doing flat fee just for this particular instance because we're kind of trying to make one route, one setup here. But if they need help with the setup, what is that additional fee? That's the where it's going to take you maybe an hour or two, depending on how many people you have helping.
Right. It depends on how many people I have to bring in the situation that it's in. Because if someone wants one upstairs, we'd have
Right.
to see the
So that
area.
case by case basis for the setup.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. All right. And so what I'm telling them is that we're going to go over this map and see if anybody in this area is ready to purchase. Pretty much today is what I told them. We have to make a decision today, so that we know what that route's going to be. Who's going to be able to get these literally in about less than 48 hours, right?
Right.
So And this is one thing that we're discussing too, the ability to get these with a quick turnaround, and the potential of doing this every single weekend and having a supplier that has enough inventory to where we can say, hey, 5 of us get this press this week, maybe 10, 20 the next weekend.
Right.
So we're having that reliability of knowing that we can have a press in hand within a week. And I don't think anybody else can. Please tell me if you can go somewhere else and get a large, and I have people in the comments too. So let me know if you can go get a large format press delivered to you in less than a week, please, because I haven't seen anything like that yet. Chelsea, are you laughing over there?
Girl, am I laughing? I'm very much laughing because that's speedy.
Yeah, and I like I said, I mean, if I was at the shop, I could show you I have them. It's no, it's not. I have them. I took the risk, and it's working, right?
Mm-hmm. Right. And that is essentially the thing. The thing is,
that's the most important
taking
part.
the risk, having the liability. Also, with your face and your name and your business on the line for this product, there's a difference between that and then someone faceless just on the sales team for something that you can't come after them. They're not personally liable. Their business isn't liable. They don't have any face to save because they don't care if know them or not. There is a difference here, and the fact that we can empower and we can support one another on this platform and actually grow some millionaires within our own realms and groups. That's what we should be proud of. That's what we should be supporting. That's what we should be wanting to see, and not well, if it's this, or what's wrong with it? Why is it this person? Like we can get past all of that. And Damon, I have to say, I appreciate number one, your time, but number two, the fact that you had the answers. And the answers came off the top of your head. You have the experience. It's not just this is something that you decided to do 2 months ago. This is years in the works. This is you actually putting input in on this product, which I don't think anybody knew anything about that. You actually have an input in the design and with the distribution and these contracts that really had to be written up in order for you to even have this level of inventory in the States. So we thank you for that. And I know you get your camera's frozen right now. I hope you're not about to drop off from it. Okay, so what I'm going to do for those who are interested, I'm going to set up a listing where you all can purchase on Innate Lab right now. And this is just going to be a temporary situation so that basically those who are purchasing with me who want to be able to get it, it's $29.99. So basically it's $3,000 plus the shipping, which is $350. So it's $33.50, but you'll get it in 48 hours. Okay, and that's for the people along this. And I'm going to show you the little route here, and hopefully we can keep on this. Let me put this screen up. Let's see. How do I share my screen again? Oh, I am sharing my screen. It's just not on there. There we go. Okay, so what we're looking at is Atlanta, and then I am in Jacksonville. So let me zoom in a little bit here. I'm zooming in on the wrong screen. Okay, so we're looking at right now from Atlanta pretty much to Orlando, which is Central Florida, right down about here. I'm in Jacksonville, so anything that's coming along this route right now, if he's coming to me on Sunday, I think it will be either delivered Saturday or Sunday, depending on where you are along this route. So these are the folks that I'm saying, hey, if we can get enough of us together, y'all can have them by this Sunday. Anyone else? And there's also a route that is going up to South Carolina and a little bit above that. So I'm sorry, North Carolina and above. So if you all are interested, pretty much, I think he said he would go, and I don't have Lamar here with me right now, but he pretty much said anywhere that he was able to drive to within about 5 hours, he was willing to do deliveries for you all. And we're hoping that'll be on a regular, reoccurring basis. So I'm going to accept the orders, but everything's going through Damon. I'm just kind of handling this right now, so he can actually handle the installs and deliveries and all of the things that he's putting into place. But as of right now, I'm going to create a link that will include the cost of the machine, and then the shipping If you're anywhere besides the places that we're talking about delivering this Sunday, that's absolutely fine. You're looking at anywhere from probably about, I would say about a week. And Damon's not here to answer that for me, but I think it's between a week and at the most 2 weeks that the product would be to delivered to you anywhere in the United States. Okay. But the shipping will be variable based on where you are because it's coming from Atlanta. Y'all have to imagine that if you're, if you're in California trying to get one of these, that's going to be a little bit of time and energy and gas going that way. And a Southeastern freight would be handling that. So some of the people that are right here, kind of on this coast in my area, South Georgia, South Alabama, uh, and Atlanta down to Florida, we are basically uh, self-driving. Well, I'm not self-driving anything. Y'all know I stay on the computer. Hold on a second, David's back with us. So yeah, I won't be driving anything. The only thing I'm driving is the port. Okay, but from Atlanta, South Georgia, South Alabama, Florida, it's a possibility you'll be able to get your press this by this Sunday. Okay, and then we will also look at going from Atlanta up to what is that? Virginia, I think, even up to New Jersey. He said was not that far of a drive for him. So there are some other drives that will be made by next week. And then anything else, Southeastern Freight is going to handle that, and that will be the shipping will be determined on a per take basis. So depending on where you are, whether you need it delivered to your door, if you need a lift gate. In my case, I don't need a lift gate because of it being a commercial place that has a spot for the trucks. But if you do require a lift gate, then that may be something that you're charged extra just because that's necessary in order to take that machine off of that hot truck. Okay. Mhm.
So guys, I'm sorry. I'm in the
It's
woods.
okay.
I'm in the woods. My phone got hot that time. It wasn't dead. It just got hot and cut off. I ain't never seen that. It is hot down here. South
Oh yeah,
Georgia.
if it's hot, those iPhones will they cut off real quick.
Yeah. So, um, yes, I had a part in the design of the product, and like I'm super excited about this whole venture, and like I'm just proud to be here, happy to be here.
Yeah. We're definitely we're proud of you too. So let's see. Yep. Helena had a question. The setup is separate. Setup is dependent on what you need in order to get it set up. Do you need it to go upstairs or you just need it assembled and rolled onto into a room? So that is separate as well. And basically in order to give you an estimate on that, you're gonna have to give a little bit more detail, maybe even take photos of where you want it to go. Like, does it have to go upstairs? Show me a picture of the stairs, or whatever the case may be, so that they understand what it is that they're going to have to account for with your setup cost. And that also will determine how many people they need to bring in order, because is it a one person setup or does it require two people? So that is going to be I'll make a little list of some questions there for that. Texas clients. Yeah, so anywhere, so this is what I'm explaining. Anyone who is trying to order right now with me to go ahead and get them at the same time that I get mine this Sunday, we're just looking at a particular path. So this is just logistics here. Like, hey, Shannon, I'm going to drive one down to you. So if you got some more folks that want them, tell them I can get them to them this Sunday if it's already on the truck. That's kind of what we're doing right now and talking about right now. But also you will be able to order anywhere in the US, but you're going to have to understand that the shipping may vary depending on where you are. And I don't, I think we lost Damon again. His phone probably got hot. I didn't want to put him on the spot for shipping because usually you have to have the freight carriers quote you for that. But I've seen shipping, on the end of $600 for the ones that we were ordering from China when they wanted to ship to door. So that's what I was looking at when we were talking about taking it from the port, shipping it to door. It was about a $600 charge. So right now we're looking at $350 being kind of this this majority of folks around this area and close enough to drive to. And when I say close enough to drive to, about an 8-hour drive, 5 to 8 hour drive from Atlanta, I think is what we're looking at. But anything else is can be quoted through the freight carriers. All right, so I think, Quinita, I think you will have an option for pickup. And as a matter of fact, if it is pickup, then I'm positive you won't have to pay any type of shipping fee, and that would also be helpful. So I'll have that. As a matter of fact, I'm taking my little notes here. Yep, Damon's in Atlanta, and I want y'all to do this to make sure that you tell him that you're coming from Innate Lab so that he can give you our price. Um, if you're contacting him directly, and then I'm just going to set it up on the site just so that it's something that people can easily go ahead and pay for and have ready for ready for delivery. Is it still 350 if you live, if you're in Atlanta and want it delivered? Helena, that's a good question. I will ask that. I think it is less if you're in the Atlanta area. No, I know it is because we talked about 350 is actually the max. Okay, so 350 is the max. You may pay less based on where you are and how far this is. Basically, are you 30 miles out from the interstate? That sort of thing that causes extra extra time and energy and logistics. But yeah, I'm sure if there was a pickup option, then that could be a no cost free shipping option. But 350 is the maximum that you're going to pay for shipping. And as a matter of fact, the shipping is going to be paid separate. So what you're going to do, you pay for the machine, and then once you know like the address and everything, then the shipping is a separate invoice fee. Okay. All right. So at max is 350. I know some of the places, locations that you talked about would be 250. If you're in Atlanta, maybe it will still, be some work involved there. So maybe it'll be, don't quote me on this, maybe it'll be somewhere like $100, but it'd be worth you. Oh, there we go. Damon's back.
Hey,
Um, so Damon, we were getting some quotes. I told them the maximum right now for this route is 350,
yep.
but they're asking if they're in Atlanta and get it delivered to them, how much would that be?
Atlanta probably 125, 150. Could be
That's what I said,
150 though.
probably about 150.
Yeah.
And then what about if they want to pick up? Is there a free option to pick up?
There is not an option to pick up right
Okay, so there's not an option to pick up right now. So
now. No.
at the if you're local to the area, you're looking at 150, and that's probably worth it for you not to have to get a truck and get people on the truck that can put this put this on there and load this and unload this. So that 150, I think, is very reasonable, even if it's in your local area. And then the max we're looking at along this route is 350. Anyone other than that, I told them what we'll do is they will receive a quote for their freight based on their address and whether they have a lift gate, that sort of thing, right?
Right.
Okay, so we're going to ask if they have, of course, if they have an address, and then you need to ask whether it's commercial or residential. Is that true?
Yes, and also some people that have commercial, excuse me, some people that have residential areas. I know this may sound very strange, but some people live on dirt roads, so that's a limited access delivery. So we would have to know that as well. Um,
Okay.
we have to know if your yard, if you're in a cul-de-sac and it's a tight cul-de-sac, we're coming in with a 40-foot or pub trailer, so we have to know if you're in a cul-de-sac. We have to know if you're on a busy street. It's a lot of things that
Gotcha.
go into logistics that people don't really saying that,
Hmm.
oh, pay 200, but you stay in a cul-de-sac and they got to put a whole tractor trailer in there, or they got to go take it to the dock, take it off the truck, then put it on a final mile truck, which is basically a box truck, and then take it from the
Right.
dock and then have another driver do a special route just for you. So that's why sometimes the prices are wildly different.
Okay, understood, understood. So that is going to be that's almost its own consultation, how this needs to be delivered. So that will be a separate charge as well. And then now the price that you're giving us, the 29.99 is that your regular price, or is that like a price that we're getting from going through Innate Lab? I'm
That
trying to
that
make sure that they make
that's the regular price, but once we get past a certain threshold of sales and we get a group of people together, we're gonna do a special specifically for this group, and it will be it'll be really really good. It could be 150 bucks, could be 200 bucks, could be 250. You know, it just depends on the if we get all of them. If we get all five of them sold, we can do like 150 off. Or
Okay. So if you all can come together and make sure that we order as one, that's what I was telling you about the power in numbers. If we can come with numbers, then we can all make this route easier. We're paying $350 to ship this stuff. Like I said, I paid $600 or more to ship things via freight like this. And on top of that, we be getting it like pretty much now, which
right,
doesn't happen very often.
right, and
So
it
there
turned
are
out
a
being
lot of,
good.
mhm, right. Now, Damon, they're asking about electrician recommendations in Atlanta.
I
Um,
I don't have any in Atlanta. The only ones that I have are the ones that are in the Columbus, Georgia area, and there is one of the alternatives is like I was speaking about is using your dryer plug with a long
mhm,
extension on the press, but you must have a 50 amp breaker. You must have
right,
a 50 amp breaker. So um, that's one thing that you can do. And honestly, that's what my wife and I done when we first started because we didn't know any better, and we just changed out the breaker that we had that was a 40 amp, changed it to a 50, and went that way. But that is your decision to make. As
right.
far as electrical right now, I can't recommend anybody because I have not vetted anybody in those areas.
Gotcha. And Chrissy's in Houston. So yeah, Chrissy, we'll be able to get your order even to Houston. What's the with Southeastern Freight, what is the turnaround or not turnaround, what is the delivery ETA for, like, let's say place the order today, how soon would they be able to receive it, maybe in Texas or further?
That answer would be an answer that I'd have to give from my rep. I wouldn't want to give someone
Okay.
a misguided guess. However, transit time to Texas is anywhere from 3 to 5 days right now, barring any incidents. Also, you have to make certain that you remember that if we are sending it outside of the driving area that myself and Lamar and Shannon has set up, we're gonna have to get at least 2 to 3 days more because we're gonna be out delivering presses. So we have to come back and prep the presses for shipment. So it's gonna probably be about a 7 to 8 day turnaround at worst case if we're shipping outside of our area.
Right. So I gave the maximum, like, or the longer time frame of 2 weeks, possibly a week, depending on where they're located outside of this immediate area that we're talking about. Does that
Perfect.
sound fair?
That's exactly where we are. Yep, that's exactly where
Okay.
we are.
Okay. And I'm gonna go ahead and set up the link where they can purchase. Hopefully, we get enough people where if y'all can go ahead and get five on this route to here, then we can all save a little bit. If we can save just $100, off of it by getting five people, that would be worth it. So I want us to start thinking in numbers, thinking in terms of what kind of presence we have when we show up in numbers and when we support one another. That's because I'm telling y'all, what happened with the Holly with the heat press in China. I had 50 people from our live that within 24 hours, 50 people contacted Holly based on the live that we did that night, right? Holly offered to give me $50 off of each press for you all. And that was if we got 50 sales. And that to me did not speak that that was going to be a long lasting business relationship, that that person really cared about, establishing a relationship that we could foster and come to them as a community. The other thing was they were giving us all kind of different shipping rates and port fees that were all different. And I'm talking about 10 different people said, well, what will it take to get to Atlanta? And we got 10 different quotes. And I told her that wasn't acceptable because people were coming back to me and, and telling me, hey, well, I was quoted this. No, I was quoted that. And none of those people actually paid what they were quoted. You understand what I'm saying? So I want y'all to understand that this process, we can all go out there and find a supplier. That's not the problem. I have full faith that all of us are, we're hustlers. We're going to work. We're going to find the source. We're going to find the plug. That's not the issue. The issue is your source going to be reliable? Are they going to stand by their word? Will they put you to the side for an order that they have for 100 of these presses and put your little one press on the back burner and your press is now 90 days late? Those sorts of things. And I want y'all to understand that this happens. It happens a lot more than we think that it does, especially when we're talking about international shipping, especially when we're talking about Alibaba, which is a household name now. Alibaba back in the day used to be only people who really knew about international trade, really understood that. Now everyone has access to international trade. So it's very hard to come across somebody who's going to have a legit deal where they respect that person's bulk business, bulk orders. Okay, so I personally felt that. That's why when y'all kept asking me about, whether I ordered, from that supplier, I hadn't. I cut off that contact. I actually had an order in. I have the invoice to this day for 4 units. I was going to purchase 4 units for myself just to have a couple in stock if people did need them stateside, but it was not, in the long run, how the deal was going, it was not in my best interest. It was not in my best interest for you all. And I'm glad I didn't order them, because if I had to buy a $3,200 transformer for one of those presses, somebody would have been karate kicked
Well,
from Florida to China.
$12,800. If you got
Yeah,
it for $12,800, so you
right.
could have bought it
I'm
too on that.
telling you, that wouldn't have flown with me. And I know how it is. Like, once that money is already crossed hands, y'all don't know on this end of sourcing what we go through to sometimes fight with these manufacturers and vendors and stuff on your behalf, just to make sure that we have a product that we can put our names on. I had to send back my gray ink. I had to fight to send that back because it had all of my color. Anybody with melanin to their skin tone came out looking ashy and gray. And I had to fight with them. I was like, "Oh no, you're confused if you think I'm gonna offer this to my group and put my name on it." So we're just now getting that. They had to actually reformulate the entire ink for that one printer, and they're sending that to me as a replacement. So we don't play about what we offer, what we put our name on, what we put our face on, and also we want y'all to win. Like, this is no one time, kind of sale where you're not gonna see us afterwards. You're not gonna see us on these sublimation streets. So we want you to win. We want you to have the best quality products. And I think this is one of those ways I do feel comfortable standing behind Damon on this process and with this product.
I
So that's why
second
I'm,
that.
yeah. And Chelsea came hard with some questions, didn't she, Damon?
Yeah, she did. She was trying to get me now.
No, I wasn't
Chelsea
trying to
came
get
hard
you
with the
because I
questions.
didn't want no one to run into how they are actually making these machines now. When you go to switch up something, from how you was making it to what you're selling now, like, you have to at least let the people know in that country, okay, this is how this is being set up. This is what you're going to need to run it. Not
Right.
saying, okay, well, you just do a 220-volt and that's not the only thing that you need. And so, like I said, I have
Yep.
one. This is the second, and that's the problem that I ran into. It's sitting right there.
Yeah. And for
You know,
those who aren't aware, Chelsea came on a while ago. We had a table talk, and Chelsea just got everybody amped up wanting these large format presses. And she had one. She had one that was originally set up to where it was plug and go. Well, since then she purchased a second one, and congratulations, that means business is booming. You purchased a second presses. So she purchased a second one from the exact same person that all of you are purchasing from, and she says it's set up totally different. It doesn't have an internal transformer. It is not single phase inherently. It's basically a bootleg way of calling it single phase because one is jumped off of another. So it requires a transformer that's $3,222, and it might even be 22 cents. I don't know what all them twos come in, but it would have been
yeah.
nice if it was a single phase, and didn't require the three or none of them twos.
Well,
Okay, that's crazy.
that was also short of, looking. I mean, we researched, we called a couple of places. They have a lot of the 220-volt converted to the 110, not the 110 to the 220 like we needed, and also the 50 and 60 hertz and the kilowatts. So all that matters. And so, me, I'm not a diddle daddle person. I like to get straight to business. I want everything hooked up the way I want it, and that was just a route that I took. And so, that was it. you
So
know.
Chelsea, run us a number real quick about like what it was overall. The press was about how much to get it to your
Well,
door.
everything total for when I purchased the press itself for shipping and everything from Holly was $1,900. That was
Right,
total. That was including shipping. Okay. By the time this one hit the port fees that I ran into when you first get the notification, that was maybe about what it was it 100 and something, close to 200, and then the the custom fees, which you go through whoever you want to go through for your custom. I went through easy ISF for mine, which was only $90, and then but the port fees, custom fees, and whatever fees they have going on, plus taxes, that ran me a little over $600. So
hmm
by the time you add up everything with that, I'm well reaching 3,000 right there. And
right,
so now when it came to the electrician, blessings on that. I appreciate the electrician that I do have. Um, right about now, to get a 220 plug volt inside your home, like I said, it'll run you about another $300 to $500 depending on who your electrician is.
right,
But once I found out, that's not the only thing that I would need. I actually needed a transformer that would convert this 110 to a 220, because United States only use 110 volt to a 120 volt. There in China and Europe use a 380 volt and a 220 volt as the main power source. So you would have to have a converter to convert those voltages for you, and for you to get the proper uh, wattage to run this machine. And so the one that I found, yes, it was
right.
$3,222 and
And
22
I know
cents.
exactly
Everything
what
was
you're talking
included
about.
too.
That was the one that I was looking at when I was considering the three phase, because I was looking at the pneumatic one that had a dual size and
Yes,
it said it was three phase. I was like, okay, well I'm gonna have to get
yes,
the transformer or whatever. That cost $3,000. So in my head that was already built in
yes.
that to
So
run
all
that press
together
I would
with
need a
this
three
big
thousand
old
dollar
heat press,
transformer.
I'm literally paying 5,000, a little over $5,000 for
Right,
everything. That's for everything. That's from fees from the press for the electric work that needs to be done, that including the transformer. I just waiting
right.
for it to. The reason why it's not hooked up now is because the company actually wanted to charge $500 for shipping. That's not going to happen. I'm going to drive and go get it. So that's the reason for that. But I'm looking over
So they want an
altogether
additional $500 to ship it.
just to ship the transformer. Yes,
Oh wow.
yes.
Okay. So yeah,
So
so
so I
I'm
did
so glad.
we're picking it up ourselves.
Right.
So
So Chelsea, that's even another expense to that transformer. So I'm so
yes,
glad that you came on here to tell us this, because
yes,
everyone that was considering getting these presses, and some of them in the comments haven't gotten it yet, and they're asking whether they should cancel that or whatever. That's
right,
your business if you want to cancel that, because now that you know the truth, that you
right,
have to purchase all of these other components and all of these other
yeah.
electrical issues that may arise, that's on you
Yeah,
if you want to
if your
negotiate with
pockets
them.
aren't set up for it, or you cannot
Right.
have, because I mean, it's not even just the transfer.
Uh-oh, Chelsea, I think your
Oh,
mic is muted.
I'm sorry. Is it back on?
Yeah, it's on now.
Okay, right about now, as I have been talking to some of the people that have ordered the same machine as I have, they have come to more resources and found probably cheaper transformers for theirs. Also, like I explained, their port fees were way much higher than mine, and this second one I actually
Right.
ordered the end
Oh
of
yeah, I was going to
March.
tell you that, Chelsea. You're in Louisiana, right?
Yes,
Yours is one of the California is the cheapest. Louisiana was one of the southern areas that was least expensive. Mine in Jacksonville was twice as much as yours.
wow.
And in Jacksonville it was $600 just for the incidental fee.
So
That
what it is
that's
that
it.
once it leaves China and goes on the vessel enters the port through New York. from New York, they they have their own fees from removing it from the vessel and everything. But it
Right.
actually my press actually traveled, which I don't know why, traveled from the New York port to the Texas port when it was
Mhm.
supposed to go from the New York port to Louisiana port. So then when I
Right.
finally got to the New Orleans port to pick it up, I was actually charged another $110 for shipping
Right.
for the
So
that.
what time frame did you have to wait to get that from the time that you paid for the initial press to the time that you actually received it to your door?
So I
What was that time
ordered.
frame?
You might as well say the last week of March. It takes 3 to 4 weeks by itself just for production. So that goes the
Right.
month of April. Between May, it takes the vessel 30 days to make it from China to the United States.
Right.
So that was all of May. I was expecting it the second week of June. It actually made it the last week of June. So that put it back to, 2 weeks. And but I didn't it didn't get to my port until the second week of July. So I was
Mm.
not able to get my press to the second week of July.
So that
So
was pretty much 90 days.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So
So
it was pretty a long time. Pretty much a long
so I
time.
want you all to consider those things when you're talking about holding up thousands of dollars for 90 days. And this is what I'm saying, that
Yeah.
Damon has already taken the risk to
Yeah.
have these available in the United States, in Atlanta, where a lot of us, do have access within driving distance and all.
Right.
This is a big deal
Yeah,
simply
it's a big
on
difference
those
now.
terms.
And
Right.
I mean, to take into consideration now that the ports are extremely backed up, the fees are getting higher, the time frames to wait on these machines are even longer. I
Mm-hmm.
I really just made the jump to kind of get it at the time frame
Right.
I've gotten it.
Right.
There's people stuff that's been stuck at the port for I don't know how long, and
Yeah, I
they
know.
don't even
Matter of
have an
fact,
answer for it.
right. Everyone in this group that I know that purchased them has still not received them. And I think they purchased in May. They paid all of these extra little fees. Oh, it went to New York. It wasn't supposed to go to New York. They got, I want to say, bamboozled in a lot of different ways on a lot of these fees.
Yeah.
And now to understand, they haven't even gotten their presses yet. Now to understand when they get their press, it's not
Hmm.
going to be plug and play. It's not going to be something where you can just put in a 50 amp into your breaker
No, it's
and
because you
be
do
able
need
to
a
go.
transformer. You have to
Right.
get that 220 volt, that one our 110 to their 220 volt. And whoever whatever electrician that they go through, they will be able to tell them, because like I said, United States uses a 110 to 120 volt. China is 220 volt, and Europe is 380,
Right.
and 220. They do a 380 and 220 volt. So you would definitely need a transformer, and it's called the isolation transformer. And you
Right.
have it's a 120 volt to a 220 volt, and you have to make sure it's both 50 and 60 hertz. Some of them are
Right.
just 50 hertz, some of them just 60 hertz. And I think the ones that are just 60 hertz is the ones that are like $10,000.
Right.
So, but
Right.
it's a 50 and 60 hertz together, so it's much cheaper than that. So,
Right. And Damon, I'm gonna let you answer this one. I know you're probably taking a little mental break right now.
Ooh,
Helena asked, and
she
I think
had
I know the
she
answer
had
to
a
this
deal
one.
on her hands. Oh my God! Oof.
yes.
So it says, is Damon's press going to be a plug and play? And I think he answered this before. Damon, you do have to install the three prong into the wire. Is that correct? Or is it going
That
to
is
come with the
that is correct. And when you order a press from me, what well from us, what I do is I call you and I say, hey, let me see what kind of plug you're gonna use. If you're using one that's in your home already existing, I need to see what that plug looks like. There's four different types of plugs that comes in the American homes. Some of them are the old style. Then you got some that's in your
Hmm.
then you got some of the new style. So that's the reason that there's no end on them. They send them from the other countries that way. And when I was doing the research and going through this process of getting these things built, I was like, oh no, we're just gonna put a plug on there. And it was like, might not want to do that. And I'm like, yeah, I do want to do that because people complain about it. Then I got to thinking, there's a reason that they do that. So It's not plug and play in that sense, but I gotta know which plug is in your residence or your shop or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's
Make
that's a
sense?
very good question to answer. And the other thing you were saying that even if you have a plug, let's say you have an existing what washer, or not washer, but a dryer plug that you're going to plug it in, and you want to see what that plug is. In addition to that, you're also going to need to make sure that it has the 50 amp um, breaker, right? Or what do you call it?
Yeah,
Yeah, breaker.
Okay.
50 amp breaker. Yes.
Okay, so and that's something that you can literally go to Home Depot if it's already like a 40, for instance, and you want to switch it out. That's something you can go to Home Depot and get a 50 and just switch it out yourself if that's how you're going to make it, quote unquote plug and play, or is
Yes.
that something they would need an electrician to do?
You can actually switch the breakers yourself. A lot of people don't feel comfortable doing that, but if it's within your wheelhouse and you know how to do it, or you want to go to YouTube University and learn how to do it, that's up to you. But we accept no liability for that. But I mean, that's your choice to do that. But I highly recommend getting an electrician. But you can
Mm-hmm.
do it yourself if you want.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
got you. So I think that answers a lot about how it comes. So no, it's not going to have the three-prong plug on the end of it, and that's going to be dependent on where what your household or your commercial space is set up. Some people have commercial spaces, but it doesn't mean that you're going to have like warehouse type capabilities with your electrical. So some commercial spaces are set up just like residential places where you are going to have to do some, possibly some wiring and that sort of thing. So just make sure that you have that understanding ahead of time that this is not a press that once you receive it, you're going to be able to plug it straight into a wall. You are going to have a little bit of work, being that it's going to need the plug on the end. And as long as you, at the very least, have an outlet that you can plug into, just like you would plug a dryer into. And that's what I'm going to do. I have one up at the shop. It actually has a little 220 volt that I guess it used to be a dryer in there. So that's what we're going to do to make sure that it works. And then I'll make sure we have a 50 amp breaker on there. And then that should be pretty much plug and play for me. But where I end up having it in the long run, I'm going to have an electrician hardwire some different places. 'Cause I plan on having multiple large format presses in there. So then that will be something I do later on down the line. But right now, I want to not press with my 16 by 20 press. So I'm going to plug it into that dryer place. I don't need a dryer like I need this heat press right now.
When we started, we just plugged the dryer. We plugged it into the dryer plug, and then when we finished pressing, we unplugged it and plugged the dryer back
There
up.
you go.
That's what we
And
done.
and and, and this is the commercial space. So if I was at home, I would definitely do that.
That's
Definitely. When you need
exactly
to
how
use the
you would
dryer,
do
plug
it.
that dryer in.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a long cord on ours. We bought a piece of cord from the electrical warehouse, and we told them what we was doing, and they said, "Oh yeah, that'll work fine. It's just like running a straight wire." I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh okay," and that's what happened.
They
That's what
also
we
make
done.
the
It worked great.
extension cords. They make
Yep,
the
Yeah.
extension cords for it also.
yep.
Yeah.
You're
So
right.
so
Like the
so that
camping
that
Or
may
wire.
you can
even
use it, or you can use the generator extension cord also. But
Right, like for campers. You're
yeah,
exactly right.
oh
yep,
yeah. Okay.
yeah. So because
Yeah.
that's what I can do with the other one, not this one.
Right, right. So Kelsey, I'm so sorry that happened to you on
Yeah.
that press. And I know you were such an advocate for the first press, and it
Yes.
was really exciting and stuff. But this is part of the game that we're learning. And if our
Right.
issues and the things that we experience, we can save you some money and some heartache, because it's not just the money, it's the disappointment, it's the time, it's the
Yeah.
stress, and all these other factors.
Like I
Um,
said, it's
that,
worth it. It was hell getting it in this house though. This sucker is heavy. It's definitely worth it. It's definitely what they said. This is the extra handle to actually help with the
right,
pressing. So you have this extended piece, and you also have this piece right here. So it has an
right,
extended handle. So I can
It's a
give y'all a
microtech
little
press.
outlet. This is the
right,
where the pressure comes from, the ergometer.
right. So,
And
Damon,
it
is that
does lift
similar
by
to the style
itself.
that you're testing out right now, or what's the? Because I'm curious. I want to get the scoop on the new ones coming out too. What? Because I'm probably
See,
going to
this
get one
is
of
the
those.
pull-out drawer.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Oh, excuse me. This is from, I'm doing DTF. So I
Oh,
gotta actually
good,
stay sitting right there
awesome.
drying for a second. But this is actually the machine right here. This is it right
Yeah.
here. This is the whole little hookup that I have for it. Um, FYI, this sucker is so heavy. You have to put it on the stand yourself. It is heavy. Uh, Kudos to my boyfriend and his father because it was a struggle.
Yeah,
But
I can imagine that
he
that
got
one
a
looks like
control
it
for it,
probably weighs more as well.
and they do send
Yeah.
let me see. They do send another control panel also, one of these.
Oh,
So
just in case that one gets
they
fried.
give you another one. Yeah, they give you another one of
Right.
the panels.
Then they
But
already knew what was up when they did that.
so
When it, yeah. If they
so
gave you that, they knew what they were doing. If they gave you a whole new control panel, just off the rip, they understood with
yes,
that
yes. So
problem. Okay.
definitely. But this one's gonna get up and going just like the other one. I love it. It works. It's what you want or what you expect. Um,
Right.
like I said, it still definitely beats the US price, but it's just a little bit more
Right.
pricey.
Yeah,
That
and I'll talk to Damon too because I think that might be one of the styles that he is planning on offering.
uh-huh.
But I'm not sure if that's he says he wants to test and that sort of thing first. So I was trying to get the scoop to see if that's going to be the next style that they
Right.
do offer.
Right.
But yeah, I understand what he's saying. I'm the same way. Like I have to test something, prove it, make sure it can meet my expectations before I
Right.
really, especially if I plan on being the distributor of a product.
Right.
The size of it is a 30 by 40 press. Um, okay, so I know we've used up a lot of your time, Chelsea, and
No,
Damon
that's
was.
fine. Anything I can do to
You
help
know
you
I
get
always
more
appreciate you.
information. So, I
And
much rather let
I'm so
everyone
glad that you
know the
caught this live
process
today.
than to, be surprised,
Right,
So it's
right,
much better to learn the process. But like I said, it's worth every penny. There's still, like I said, it's a little bit more you have to do, but it still beat the US price on it. Like I said, it's very sturdy. No issues with the first one at all. One none whatsoever. I just don't want to do the traveling. I wanted something in the house. So
right.
it lives up to its expectations. Once you get it up and going, it's there.
Yeah.
They
I
made
think
this.
hold on a second. I think Damon's coming back. Let me see. Damon, you good? You were froze up on us for a second.
Well,
I
the
But
struggle
thought
is
you were
real down there
Damon's
in the
you
U.S.
were
machine
I'm telling y'all.
is very Damon's
but
machine is very it's a 1 2 3 thing, it's easier. Put it that way. It's easier, it's faster, it's cheaper. The uh transformer's already built inside, so that's less work you have to worry for. I mean, he has the one-way hookup, so and it's
right.
here in the United States already, so
Yeah, and Damon also has the he's a certified Epson distributor for the Epson F 570s, the F 6370s, so the large format Epson printers, and that sort of thing. So basically, his name and his business is on the line for this as well. So that's why I have even more confidence in the product. Now, Damon, I see you got a little snackage there.
Sorry.
Don't worry. As soon as I cut off this live, I'm definitely gonna give me something to eat. What can you give us a kind of at least a sneak peek of what the next line of your presses that you're gonna offer? Or do you plan on having the automatic or anything like that in the near future?
So what I will say is that there gonna be some really nice color changes happening,
Okay, that sounds cool.
and there gonna be some. We're gonna do some improvements and offer a line of accessories. This is one thing that is a certain. So you notice that they
Hmm.
have a little cart that they sit on, right?
Right.
Well, you can't use the cart for anything but sitting it on. We're redesigning that right now so that you can use it
Hmm.
for storage on the bottom, and it'll have a door on it. Um,
Okay.
that's one thing. And also, we do have a line of presses that should be maybe coming out soon that you can plug into your regular house.
Really? Okay. Well, that might be my press number two then, because I
I'm
told him.
trying. That might be three for me. Hey, women like colors. You colors? What colors?
Yeah,
Yeah,
just simply based on colors.
they're not as big, but they're pretty close. So I can't say exactly because it
Right.
take a little time to get stuff developed like it should be developed, and we've
I
had a few
understand.
failures on our through our test phase. So
Hmm.
until those failures are fixed, they won't be
I
out.
understand. I understand
Right.
completely on that. So, in addition to that, what can we expect as far as the size of shirts that we can press on the press? I see somebody's asked, will a 2X fit or will you have to use a board at a certain point in time? Like, how does that work for the bigger shirts? Do you just move the shirt over and press other size?
So what we know factually is that we use in our process we use the jerseys 21 M's and we use sublift, gilding, or whatever. Sometimes at this point right now with everybody, whatever we can get our hands on. But
Right,
for
right.
us, we can press all the way up to a 3X in sublift. We can press all the way up to a 3X in the 21M. But with the
Hmm.
21M, we have to press it twice. We have to press everything and then about.
That little corner of that sleeve.
Yep.
Right, right,
Little corner of the sleeve on the
right. I know
21M
exactly what
just
you're talking
because of
about.
the size of it, right? Um,
Right,
when we're doing a 4X, we do a dual press. We press one side and we use tack back paper, right?
right.
So because we use tack back paper, you won't have any ghosting. So we press it one time and then we slide it
Hmm.
over 4 inches and press it again. No
Right,
ghosting, no lines, no nothing. We pressed
right.
up to a 6X shirt on there, but that was an adventure.
Right. I believe it. I believe it.
Now the
So
four
that's
X's
That's the
down,
challenge.
we'll
That is
we'll
the
do them
challenge.
right, but them 5X's and 6X's, that
right.
that,
That's a
Just
that
charge
that's an
challenge.
just
adventure.
charge more for them. They know what it's worth. They know what it costs.
Yeah, that's a little tent.
Right. So to answer your question, you'll be able to definitely fit a 2X. And depending on what brand of shirt, a 3X may require like a little bit of. And here's the thing too. What I noticed is that I started designing my stuff where it fades off the white on those sleeves. So it'll be like
Me
all
too.
over everywhere else. That's one press right there. I don't care what size shirt you're talking about.
Yep, you break the blend right there at the sleeve, and then you like, oh yeah.
Yeah, that look tough right there, don't it? They be like, yeah. I'm like, good. Less ink
Yep.
too. When you're not using up all that ink, it takes less time for your prints to print. It's a win-win. So you got to get creative and you got to show your customers sometimes what it is that makes it easier for you because they don't understand the difference between printing a 6X shirt solid black and fading the sleeves off the white so that you only have to do one press to do the bodice of the shirt. They don't
Right.
understand that difference. So you have to show it to them in a way that benefits you and that also profits your business.
Right. You definitely don't want to be on the tail end of that. So this install we're doing right now is actually our creator pack. It's the 6370 and the big press. Um
Hmm.
I'm loving this whole setup. But we're talking about heat presses now, so we'll stay on that. But man, we're very fortunate to be in the position that we are with the presses. And just like you guys said, there's nowhere you can't wake up in the morning and go. You can wake up in the morning, go to Walmart, and get something, right? But you can't wake
Right.
up in the morning and go get a press. Today, in the next 3 days, you can wake up in the
Yeah.
morning and I could be out there, bump, bump. Come on out here,
There
kick.
you go. On live. You be watching your own live. Like, wait a minute, he's outside
That's
of my
the
house.
beauty of it.
Yeah,
I'm trying to tell you that, and that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm excited about. That's why I was willing to, I got a million things to do right now, but I was like, let me take a break on that so that I can bring this to you all because this is truly, this is unheard of. This is beyond customer service. This is really putting into your element what you've been saying. Y'all been crying. Y'all wanted these large format heat presses, and even the ones that ordered in May thought they would have them by now, and still like considering even canceling and that sort of thing. So I'm letting y'all know that if you're within our area from Atlanta, South Georgia, Florida, I think even some parts of Alabama, that we can go ahead and get these to this Sunday, and then the rest even by next weekend, depending on if you're going down to Florida or up from South Carolina, from Atlanta. So Atlanta to South Carolina is another route that we have right now with Lamar. So let me know. I'm going to go ahead and get off this live so I can make this post and this link for y'all who are interested in purchasing. And Damon, how can they get in touch with you? And y'all make sure when y'all contact Damon, y'all make sure y'all tell him that Shanon was the plug, okay? Because I know how we are sometimes. We don't like to give credit to the people that put us on, and really that's how we're able to maintain relationships. So make sure that y'all at least tell them that I sent you, and you may get a discount for that, because if at least 5 of us come, then we'll get a certain price break. So it will benefit you to throw my name out there today. Okay? And then I'll also have the link on the website for those who want to purchase immediately, so you can get it this Sunday. All right. What about Texas? Troy, you'll still be able to purchase for Texas. He's just going to have to give you a custom quote on the shipment. Right, Damon? Did you hear that one, Damon?
And I will send you over a link. Yes, you can. Yes, we can. Sorry about that. Yeah, we can take care of her. And we'll be sending over. I'll be sending you over, Shanon, all the contact information. But y'all should go through Shanon, because she's gonna get y'all a deal. Because if you call me straight, you gonna have to pay full price. That's what it is.
There you go. There it is. Okay, well, see, David, we already teammates. There you go. And another. Yeah, and you know what, my folks, like, y'all ride for me. Y'all go off for people on my behalf and everything. So I know that y'all have my back. All right, so we'll go ahead and get this going. So hopefully we can get this price break, and in the future we'll be able to do some more too, because some of you might be interested in the large format printer and some of the packages that Damon has. So I definitely want to make sure that y'all keep this in your ear, and the buzz that's about all over printing is definitely here to stay. It is grown so much just in this past year that you don't want to be behind the curve if you can be making the money now. Y'all have the split template. Y'all been tiling with the 13 by 19. Y'all been doing your thing with the split template way more than I've ever done. Damon, can you believe one of our creatives, she just got into large format printing, but she did 70 shirts split it with the split template with the 13 by 19s, 70 order of 70 shirts. And it's 4 prints if you're doing up to a large. Anything larger than a large requires 5, 6, 7 pages. So if y'all are getting orders for these all overs, and you're sitting there literally pressing 4 times or printing 4 pages, but you're doing that on a regular, then it may be worth it for you to look into this type of investment. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Mm-hmm. So we're gonna let Damon go, because he done tapped out one more time on us, and I said I was gonna get something to eat, because this really got me excited today, and I wanted to share this with y'all. So I'm gonna go ahead and get on my job, and we'll go ahead. Let's see, it's 7 now. I'll post the link, and there. Oh, the other thing is, there are only so many units right now that are available in units that will be able to come this way by this Sunday. Okay, so he reserved 5 just for us to be able to come this way, on the strength that there'd be an opportunity to come meet up with one another as well. So I definitely want y'all to understand that when these things are on the state side, it does take even him days and sometimes weeks and months to get more inventory back in. But his goal and what he has committed to is to keep these things in stock for us, which is a big deal. Can y'all imagine keeping 60 of these things in stock just so that we have access to them on the state side, and that we don't have to wait 90 days to get this, and we don't have to be upset knowing that our press is literally sitting in a harbor 10 minutes away from us, but it's to the point where we can't get it for 30 days at a time. Right. So I want y'all to understand that this is what we're giving back as well, supporting him, and that he's taking this risk and really put his money where his mouth is with this investment.
Much more
Okay.
convenient.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. So thank you again, Chelsea.
Thank
You know, we
you.
rock with you. You know, we love you, girl. And I want to
Of
see some
course.
of your work. Like what you turning out with
Look,
these
I
large
kind of
format
went
presses.
MIA for a second because I added DTF. So
Ah,
I kind of went MIA because I'm a conversion junkie. I convert. So it doesn't,
right.
I was
I feel you.
converting.
Matter of fact, I have a DTF system that I
Hmm.
have not even. I took it out of the box just to show it, but I haven't set it up or anything yet because I was like, well, I want to be ranked when where I can talk about it and teach
Oh,
about
let
it
me
and
tell
stuff.
you, it's lovely, but maintenance is key to those
Right,
printers. If you're
and
not a
you got to keep
maintenance
them going.
person, don't, because you will clog your lines, you'll mess up, and it'll be drastic for you. But
Right,
maintenance is the key, making sure that you do the right amount of head cleanings, clean around the nozzle, clean, just maintenance overall. But
right,
once you got the printer up and running, and you got it to your liking, your settings, and figure out what software that you're gonna go with, which is the most expensive part of it all,
right,
because
exactly.
you can use Photoshop and Illustrator to manipulate your photos or your design, but you can't print. Yeah, it has a special
Hmm.
software. So, that's
Right,
a whole nother monster. But once you have
right,
everything good and going, and it took me 3 days, 3 long, hard days, focused the whole time. I was MIA
hmm,
from everything to get this
right.
printer up and running, and there's no turning back. I love it.
That's good, and that's what I want to hear. And as a matter of fact, I would be interested in doing, doing a table talk with that one day with the DTF situation because I
Yes.
actually, I started formulating my relationship with the manufacturers to do the ink for that.
Uh-huh.
But at the time, so many printers, it was only so many printers on the market. It was
Right.
really scarce to get them. People were gouging for those printers, and
Yeah.
I didn't feel right promoting that process when people were charging 5 times what the printer was worth just to
Yes,
be able to
yes.
convert it.
My suggestion, or just me personally, converting the printer is much more cheaper, and the printers work better than the ones that's already ready and converted for you. You can take
Right,
that Epson printer and convert it yourself and come out way cheaper than what they're selling it for you.
right.
You know, and
So I'll get your take on that too,
yeah.
because I have a L 1800, and then I have one that the manufacturers converted for me from the
Hmm.
parts of the L 1800. So I have
Uh-huh.
both. Like I have one that I need to convert, and then one that's already been converted, like with the different housing in it, like it has a metal casing and
Yeah.
all that to it. So that's definitely something that I mean, and I've had this stuff since December. Can you believe it?
Oh my
Like,
God, what are
and I
you waiting on?
because I get y'all be keeping me on my toes, man.
I already know, but look, you will definitely love it. And I mean, a woman of your expertise, that's right up your alley. I mean, as
Yeah.
much as you do with
Oh, I can't
sublimation,
wait to put some of
I
these
can
Photoshop
only
designs on some black shirts.
imagine if you add DTF to that. Oh my God,
Yeah,
but you'll love
yeah.
it. You'll love it. I like it. So,
Okay, well, yeah. Jeanette talking about this is Turn Up Friday. I love it. Y'all, this is crazy. This is how you know we're true innate crafters at heart because we're sitting here talking about this is turning up. We're not at the club. We ain't at nobody's party. We're literally sitting here
because guess
talking
what?
about
After I
business.
converted that 7270 with
Hmm.
sublimation, oh my God, it's been nonstop, nonstop
Right.
everything, shirts, tumblers, everything. And then, just today alone, I just posted my DTF transfer, and I mean, people going crazy, and I'm like, I'm not ready.
Well, Chelsea, I need you to contact me because you sound like a good fit for our business partnership. And what our business partnership does is it allows the partners to get basically you get any of the products at the wholesale price. So you get the products at a wholesale price. You're able to distribute products. You're able to do the prints.
Hmm.
For if somebody says, hey, I need prints in this area, then we promote you as that person, a print partner in that area. If
Right.
somebody needs sublimation ink, you would be able to offer, True Colors Ink and say, hey, you can do drop offs or whatever. Did you know? I don't know if they do this in your area, but Uber will actually drop off stuff for you now. Because I thought it was a hack. I used to call Uber.
I never look. It's so crazy because I never
Listen,
thought that.
listen, what I used to do with Uber. I used to be like, yeah, I need to go to the post office. And I would have the Uber person show up and be like, "Yeah, I don't need to go to the post office. This package does." So I would give them a bag of the packages. Just, all you gotta do is drop that off at the front gate. Here's an extra $10. Please don't tell these people I didn't get in your car and ride with you today.
Hey,
Because
if they up and down for it, hey.
I'm trying to tell you. So they do have a if you look at, and I don't know if it's everywhere or just like major, metropolitan areas, but
Right.
in Jacksonville I looked the other day and I was like, oh, it actually has an option to deliver a package now. I
Yeah.
thought, I thought I cracked the code. So it was like a $10 fee, but if your customers are willing to pay that $10 to have something like delivered to
Delivered.
them, and you ain't got to worry about them coming to your house or meeting them at
Right,
the
right.
shop. Even when they come to the shop, they be talking you to death, and you need to get work done. So, I mean, the delivery aspect of it puts us on a whole nother level now. So, yeah, the
Right,
online aspect was one thing, but now you have delivery even within your local area.
right.
So, I really encourage you all to look that up, see if
Yeah,
Uber offers
definitely,
that package
definitely.
option. Because, baby, that's a whole nother market there. Whole nother market. And all of us are always late, last minute, need something, right at the moment. So, yeah.
I actually did this shirt today. This is the one that I had posted on my live. My daughter's actually wearing it.
Oh, look at you with your gorgeous model there.
Girl,
Yes. And you did that
they
DTL?
like to take all my work.
Yep. Well,
Yeah.
that's a good sign.
She put the hamster on me. Oh my god. These
And-
children. Thank you, baby. But yeah, that's what I've
yeah,
been working on. I've been MIA dealing with that because I'm always trying to find something new. I didn't
right.
deal that with a lot of things, and I'm like, I really wanted to get into DTF just to get the feel, and I don't think there's no turning back. I actually like it. I love it.
That's
It's so
and it looks really good. You're doing a phenomenal job,
yes,
especially when people think like converted printers. They always think, oh, it's going to be the bootleg version of it.
yes.
I saw the print. It looks uniform. It looks nice. It
Well, guess
it
what?
doesn't
I
look
went all
heavy.
the way bootleg this time because I wasn't paying for no maintenance tanks or anything. I made my own
None of
maintenance
that.
line. Look,
Right.
YouTube teaches you a lot of stuff, but they just teach you
Hmm.
how to be bad, how to
Right.
convert these printers.
Right.
So,
There you go. And
but
I'm sure
yeah.
if you're willing to put some of that information out there, Chelsea, we might be needing you on another little channel now. Come on.
Look after these 3 days of ink everywhere, transfer everywhere, print heads, nozzle cleanings, the whole nine. I mean, it's
Right.
definitely worth it. The
Yeah.
only reason why maintenance is so important is because the ink is thicker than sublimation
Hmm.
ink. Sublimation ink
Right.
is water-based ink, as
Right.
opposed to this DTF. It's much thicker, and so you have
Right.
to definitely know what you're doing with it. So it won't make any clogs or and mess up the system. So but I
Right.
mean, once if you just discipline yourself and do a before and a after cleaning every day, you're good to go. You're good to
That
go.
sounds good. So I look forward to that. Matter of fact, Chelsea, hold me to it. I would love to have a day that we highlight your DTF process and see how you're actually implementing that in your business practices and stuff. So I know you can get on here and you don't mind talking to our people and let them know what's going on,
Of
what's
course
going on.
not. If they're interested, of course not. I don't mind sharing anything that I do. That's the beauty of it. So, you
Right.
know, because eventually, I mean, I learned from somebody, so I take my learning. That's what you do, and you let other people know. So, of course.
Right. Well, we appreciate you. All right, so
Yes,
let me go.
ma'am.
I'm gonna go create this little link for
All
folks,
right.
and I look forward to
Thank you.
connecting with
Yes,
you
thank
again
you.
real soon. Okay.
All right.
All right, Chelsea, and to everyone else, I appreciate y'all. I love y'all dearly. I got to get a snack or something, cause your girl been excited and running around all day. So until next time, y'all know what it is. Bye.